Welcome to WWC Datapalooza Training Camp. Data rocks! Yes, folks, it's that time of year again, our biannual cleanup of data in order to meet those indicators for the CDC. So what we're going to do here is show you one little packet that's going to be very, very helpful on your Datapalooza journey. This is the PDF that comes with your email. It's just a little set of slides that will help you sort out what an error actually means and how to fix it. Also within this little packet we have a general overview of what it is that we're doing here with the Datapalooza project. And I'll not read through this to you. It's in your hands. You can read through this to get the background on it. Just give you a little overview of what we're doing, why we do it. Also included in this packet are going to be ways by which you can solve types of cases that are going to be on your data sheet. For instance, here you're going to have the cervical completeness. For breast and cervical, you're going to have the timeliness. And then we give you individual ways by which to fix very specific error messages in your sheet. Also involved in this packet is going to be ways by which to navigate through your sheet, also how to navigate from your sheet into eCaST, and then ultimately at the end it's going to be how to get in touch with me when and if you have any questions. So this is in the PDF in your email. You're going to want to refer to this as your guide for Datapalooza. If you're running any questions, you're going to want to send them to me. So let's jump into what your sheet is actually going to look like. What you're going to get in your email is something that looks a bit like this. Now this is all de-identified data. You'll see we have best agency ever, which is you, by the way. It'll also list sites. If you have multiple sites, they'll be individually listed in this column. But the biggest things on here are three different sections ultimately. We are going to be asking for breast completeness and timeliness is going to be this section. And then just a little bit over, we have cervical completeness and cervical timeliness. And then the third one is going to be agency updates. And these are going to be data errors that we're asking you to either confirm are in error and are valid in there or that need to be fixed. And one of the most common ones this time around is going to be this error here. It's the final diagnosis date does not match final procedure date. We'll go over that in just a little bit. One thing here you'll note, the sheet is a little big. It doesn't encompass the entire view on one single sheet. It's rather wide going this way. So just to be clear, there are two sections for breast, two sections for cervical completeness, and then you have a data error section that's way over on the right. So you're going to want to scan your entire sheet just to make sure that you've got it all within your grasp. And essentially what we're going to ask you to do is to jump into each one of these client IDs and review all the potential timeliness, completeness, or data errors that we have listed going from left to right here. So for instance, if we wanted to look up this client, I would recommend go ahead and copy that one. So we're going to copy this, and then we'll go to eCaST, and we'll drop the ID in the, actually be in the field, and go ahead and hit search. And then from there you can get to the cycles page. Now here's a little shortcut that I wanted to show you. And just to follow this one all the way through, you're going to have your client ID up here, and on your sheet you're going to have the client ID, your cycle ID, and then the screening ID that you're going to want to follow. So in this one we're looking for 284195. Let's go back there. 284195, so let's go ahead and click View. And then we're going to be looking for a very specific screening, which is also listed here. So you've got your ID, your client, cycle ID, and then your screening ID, which will be specific to one body part or the other. So if we go back, we're looking for 444647, and that would be right here. So the way to get back in is clicking Resume. And then you'd be in that individual screening, and then from there you can take a look at what exactly we're asking you to address, whether it's a timeliness issue, a completeness issue or a data error. So here's a little trick I wanted to share with you users out there. You'll notice that you have this URL, and note we're in a training environment, so this is all de-identified information. And we've got the client ID number right up here at the very end. So what you can do is to add this as a favorite on your bookmarks on your toolbar. So drop it like this, and then you can rename it if you want. I'm going to go ahead and edit this. And what I call mine is the clinical cycles tab. And I'm going to add train just for my own safekeeping here, and I'm going to hit save. Now what this will do is that you can click on this tab, and initially it's always going to take you to this ID because this is the one you just happen to save. So for instance, if you are on the home page and you wanted to look up a subsequent ID that's on the sheet, say you've moved on, you've completed this one entirely, and now you'd like to go on to the next one, copy that ID, go ahead, and once you've logged in and you're all set up on your home page, you can click this clinical cycles train bookmark that you've created, copy or paste the ID in, hit return, and that will take you directly to that next client's ID cycle. Or cycles page. So from here, let's go back and see what we're looking for. We're looking for 188533. That's going to be right here. So we'll click on that, and then which screening are we looking for? We're looking for 301268, which would be the breast screening here. But you can either click on it by entering here at the number. I'm sorry, you have to actually click on the resume button to get in. If you have an error for that message, you would have to click on the triangle on the left in order to get into the patient accordion, and then from here take a look at the timeliness, the completeness, or any data errors we're asking you to clean up. So just to reiterate, you're going to get a PDF with the instructions on how to tackle these issues in your actual sheet. You're also going to get your attached sheet. Now in this one, you're going to have all of these individual clients listed, as well as your agency, and when you go through one of these and you click an answer that you've come to a conclusion on, say that you've figured out that this is truly complete, that it was incomplete before, you've remedied it, and now you've done so, once you hit save, or I'm sorry, once you actually enter that information, you're going to get a reviewed over here. Now once you click that entry and make a selection for each one, as in you have addressed each issue on the sheet, you'll note that patients you have reviewed goes up to 1, and the ones that you need to review goes down to 8. So your front sheet here, the progress summary report, keeps track of all of the things that you are addressing on the sheet, and eventually you want to get this to 100% on the patients you have reviewed. So you're going to use this sheet to dive into eCaST and address whichever problem is addressed on this one. Now, be very careful because some of them have two different types of issues. For instance, down here, we have a breast timeliness, but we also have data errors that we need to have addressed on the very end of it. So you can have all three, or you can have just one, or you can have 2 of 3. So you can have multiple issues with an individual client. They'll all be listed on the same line. So once you've received your sheet and you have dug into eCaST to address those issues that are on there using the PDF as your guide, and if you run into any issues whatsoever, please send me a message. Email is preferable, particularly during Datapalooza. So send it to nicholas.roth@state.co.us, and I'll be more than happy to help. One more very special note is that the entirety of this project is due by September 30th. So I'll be helping each and every one of you make sure that we come in under deadline and making sure that we meet those indicators to make sure we're doing our best in the eyes of the CDC. So thank you all for listening to the training. And with that, have at it and let me know how you're doing.